Day 3 of 100 days of Lohan practice. 100 days is actually what I normally do. At least once a year, sometimes 2, maybe even 3 times, because I do it with the seasons. Basically every season in the Chinese calendar, if you will, is sort of 100 days long. Anyway, we'll talk about it another time. Anyway, when it's cold like this, and your body is sort of tight and it doesn't want to go out and do work, it doesn't feel loose and warm like it does in the summer, Lohan is actually a practice best suited for winter. This is actually what I always do in the winter. It's 100 days of this. I just thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of 2 birds with 1 stone and do my practice, keep myself accountable, and make these videos so that other people can benefit from what Master Chen taught me. So, I've already posted, or will post, a review video of just me doing the movements so far, which is just bow to respect the Buddha, and then Lohan moves the hands and adjusts the chi, which we do thrice. 3 times. Thrice simply because thrice is a great word. Okay. Now on the 3rd one, we should end up with our palms, which is in an ox tongue palm still, right? And we should end up with it placed right back at our hip. And the mistake that I'm about to kind of look for here is you shouldn't have your arms winged out to the sides, okay? You want your arms pulled back, and what that'll do is it'll pull your nipples apart, okay? So when I have my winged arms, my winged elbows, I haven't really affected anything here, right? If you really watch me do it, when I get here, my chest does speak nothing pretty much, unless I try to touch my elbows behind my back. You guys have dirty minds. Okay, and if you're old enough to know what that means, then you're old enough. So when I get here, my elbows have to point backwards. Reason for this, okay, is that there's a muscle in your chest that I'm very well acquainted with currently. And this muscle is called transverse thoracis. Transverse thoracis is a muscle that works in the intercostal spaces in between your ribs, okay? And it looks kind of like a spider. It's got like a bunch of tendrils off it, if you will, little muscular tendrils that reach into your rib cage right here in your chest. And when you feel grief, this contracts. That's why when you see somebody weep, you'll see their body will shake, and they'll usually clutch their heart, and their body will like cover the heart, and it'll try to protect it. That's this muscle, okay? So in Chinese practices, this is called opening the heart. So if you've suffered a loss, a grief, if you just simply have shitty posture, and maybe you sit like this too much, you might really feel something here as you try to open and stretch this muscle. And it's just your nipples trying to move apart because your elbows are trying to move backward. And they're not trying to move to touch each other, they're trying to move just so they point to the wall behind you, okay? So on my 3rd one, I'll do it here. So this is my last one, we'll say. So I come up, I rotate, I come down. Now I make sure my elbows point. So now at this point, my chest is open. And what that means is that I need to be inhaling. The body is seen like it's hollow, okay? So something called bellows breathing sometimes is translated as. The body becomes hollow, and what happens is that it breathes on its own. Like when you're asleep, you just breathe, right? You watch a dog, it just breathes. You're not thinking about breathing, except right now probably because you're thinking about breathing, because I'm talking about breathing and you're thinking about it, and that sucks. But we do it instinctively and we do it naturally. So when we practice movements that affect the breathing apparatus in our bodies, we also affect how much oxygen we're getting, what muscles we stretch, how that changes our posture. And physiological change creates psychological response. It's just that simple. If you're depressed and you sit around on the couch all day long, you'll feel depressed because you're sitting around on the couch all day long. But if you're depressed and you try, as hard as it is to go out for a walk, as hard as it is to get up and train, I mean, let me tell you, I know that one. 35 years I've trained every day, even when I didn't want to. But what it does is it lets things change. It lets you experience change. Okay, so my light just went out, so I'll end this little one here. So we're opening everything up as we inhale, okay? And that inhale continues as we lift our palms, okay? So I'm gonna just finish that part of the movement now. So I would be sitting down into the chair. Oh, it just needs a little chin stop. Or maybe not. So I'm sitting down into the chair. And as I bring my hands up, I'm rising, my pelvis is rising. My fingers reach through my body, through my head, through the roof, reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. I'm sitting down very slightly, okay? Elbows back, not here. And as I inhale, I lift the fingertips, and then I press down as I exhale, like that. Okay, I'll just edit me fixing lights. Come on, lights. Stop being shitty. You shitty light. You shitty light. Try as I might. You'll still be shitty. You shitty light. Shitty light. You shitty light. Why are you being shitty to me? I can't film this at night. You shitty, shitty light. You shitty, shitty light. Why don't you go and suck it? Oh, with all your might. It's never gonna work. Ah!